Alright dudes, today we're going to talk about another film called Cruella. And it was an alright Joker knockoff, but it failed at delivering a villain. Yes, I know Joker ripped off the king of comedy, but Joker gets the clicks and probably fits this example a touch better, to be honest. You might be thinking I'm referring to the Baroness. I haven't got a clue if she actually got a name, but that's what I'm going to call her. Baroness Cruella's rival and the film's antagonist, if you don't know. I'm not actually referring to her. She's okay, not the greatest villain in the film, but she serves her purpose. No, I'm referring to Cruella herself. She's not the villain at the end of the film, despite what the movie tells us, because she comes off more as an anti-heroine than anything. Just so people know, this is the 100 Dalmatians Cruella villain. This is their origin story. The woman who's supposed to skin dogs for a coat in the future. And she doesn't seem like she's going to do that in this film. So yeah, let me go through the basic plot. It starts by showing Cruella being born with split black and white hair, like one side black and the other side's white. I can't remember which way it is, but it's one of them two. And just so we all know, I'm going to be referring to her as Cruella despite the film calling her Estella for the first act. She's called Cruella just from a nickname her mom gave her, but I just want to make it a touch more consistent in the review, that's all. Anyway, because of her hair colour, she gets bullied a lot in primary school, but she does fight back. She eventually makes two friends as well, a young girl and a dog who actually becomes one of her oldest friends. Eventually, Cruella gets expelled and her and her mom has to move to London. To get money to set themselves up, Cruella's mom stops at the Baroness's party where Cruella eventually watches her mom get pushed off a cliff by Dalmatians, and yeah, that's kind of supposed to be the catalyst for why she wants to skin Dalmatians, but it doesn't really matter, trust me. Afterwards, Cruella runs to London and meets Jasper and Horace. I believe her goons from the original film. I ain't seen that in donkeys know how long, so I don't know. And them two were robbing various people as she arrived, and after the police spot her, they go on a bit of a chase scene, which Cruella eventually joins the duo in their crimes, but she also dyes her hair red. Eventually 10 years pass with them doing heights, and somehow they grow up into their mid-30s despite it's supposed to be in their 20s. Yeah, it says in the wiki article Cruella is supposed to be 12 in her childhood, so she should be about 22 at this current time, which Emma Stone isn't. I don't think any of them are actually in their 20s, I'm not gonna lie, I think they're all in their mid-30s. Anyway, the trio is still stealing against Dutch until Jasper manages to get Cruella a job at a high fashion store that the Baroness owns. Yeah, they believe, because she's a big fashion person obviously, so he's trying to help her out and everything, be a good friend. But it turns out it's just a cleaning job. And after a while, Cruella gets drunk and she kind of breaks into a window setup thing to change the mannequin to be more fashionable. The Baroness eventually sees this and hires Cruella to be on her personal team. And Cruella excels at this. She becomes the Baroness's personal assistant and it's all going up for her. But during a meeting, Cruella finds out the Baroness owns a piece of jewellery her mother owns. This jewellery was given to her on the night her mum passed away, like just before the scene, and Cruella lost it in the running off and everything. So she decides to steal the necklace, one final heist. To do so, she gets Jasper and Horace and her dog companions to help, but they need a distraction. This is where she removes the hair dye and reveals her Cruella persona at the ball the Baroness is hosting. And now this is where the Joker comparison comes in and why this film fails as a Cruella origin story. In a nutshell, Joker is a film of the public services failing a mentally ill man who grows more unhinged as he starts losing his heroes and his own identity, eventually creating his own as the Joker. It's honestly not a bad idea for Cruella to have this dual identity thing. It leads to a fashion war between her and the Baroness, but Cruella's one step ahead as she's posing as Estella and learning what the Baroness is doing. There are some really good moments with that. But there are two problems. One is that she becomes Cruella far too soon in my opinion. Joker spent an entire film building up to Arthur, the main protagonist, becoming the Joker. We waited so long for him to put on the green hair and makeup. Cruella was literally born with the hair colour for some reason. I get it was to build up her no take shit attitude, but it's 1960s Britain. If you're going to make a girl power film, use the time period to your advantage. It's 1960s Britain. It's very easy to find sexism there. Anyway, the Cruella dying her hair the split colour could have been a big moment in the film, but no, it's just there at the start. She's born with it. Mind you, her entrance was cool, don't get me wrong, the lighting the dress on fire and revealing all the colour and stuff. But imagine they're doing that entrance, but we see it with the iconic hair colour for the first time in the film. That could have been so cool, and it could have been as iconic as the stair dance in Joker. The second reason there's no conflicts on dual identities. Joker didn't become the Joker because he had a random bad thing happen to him, despite what some of the comics kind of joke about. He became the Joker after a lifetime of mistreatment, the complete destruction of who he was as a person, and he became the Joker in an attempt to form some kind of identity for himself after learning he wasn't any of the people he was told he was. Cruella was always Cruella. She basically jumped at the first chance to become it, or in this case, actually become the person she always was. There was an attempt at Jasper sulking a little bit when Cruella doesn't say thank you to him, but it matters for about a few seconds anyway, and he does what she says anyway, so it doesn't matter. There was a second attempt, which I'm not going to lie is a major spoiler. Baroness is Cruella's real mum. She tried to have Cruella killed at birth, but her adoptive mum, the one we see get pushed off the cliff, took her away. On the night of the adoptive mum's death, she tried to blackmail the Baroness about Cruella, but the Baroness just set her dogs on her. The only thing it really adds is that Cruella is entitled to the Baroness's fortune and estate instead of actually trying to earn money from selling her fashion. Kind of making the whole thing kind of mute, really. I get it makes for the final act and everything, but it just kind of hands Cruella everything in the end. I'm not going to lie, I spoil a lot about this story, and I think you get the point. And I want you, if you guys want to see that, just see it. I just want to focus on the rest of the film, such as the acting, which is really well done. Emma Stone is so much fun in this film. She makes it way more entertaining than it should have been. I also like that I had a lot of British television stars involved in it, like Joel Fry as Jasper. Joel is such a great comedic actor who, I'm not going to lie, is underutilised in this film. Watch something like Plebs and you'll get why. I mean, there's some good choices that the actors are great, but they're a bit underutilised for some of them. But here's one thing that kind of bothers me about it. With such a large cast of great British actors, the Americans do stand out quite a bit. Now, I'm not saying the Americans are bad actors, they're not. It's just that they're Americans playing British people. Their accents are terrible. Emma Stone is really, really posh. Like, that American posh thing, like the accent that Americans think all British people sound. You know, it's all tarted up like that Downton Abbey shit. Then there's Paul Hauser, I think his name's pronounced. Probably known as Stingray from Cobra Kai. Great job, by the way. He plays Horace with the fakest Cockney accent I've ever heard. It sounds like the fairies from Medieval, and that's done for comedic effect in that game. Horace seems like a genuine attempt, but it just sounds terrible. There's a scene with Horace talking to a guard, and any fan of British comedy will recognise the guard as Javon Prince from Pawn Shop. Javon is a proper British actor with a proper accent, and it really shows when Paul is putting it on. But don't get me wrong, like I said, the acting is great and it's a lot of fun, but surely they could have got British actors to fill the roles in. I mean, they got someone like Emma Watson or something, you know what I mean? But at the same time, it's hard to see anyone but Emma Stone pulling that kind of role off. Because, like I said, she nails it. I really like her in it. But, you know, just wish and fancy, ain't it? Obviously they need the big names to get people in, but they could have used British big names. Anyway, I also want to talk about the music as well. From what I gather, this film is based around the London punk movement. It is clear that it's inspired Cruella's fashion, and it's the right era, and even Wikipedia says so, that it's influenced by it. So my question is, why is there no punk songs in the film except The Clash? That's it. There's one. There's far more blues and heavy metal in this soundtrack, which, yeah, I like. It just really clashes with the whole punk vibe. Where's the Damned, Buzzcocks, the Stranglers, the Ramones, the Sex Pistols? My god, how can you have so much punk stuff thrown into a film that's set in the 70s London and not have a single Sex Pistols track in your film? I know they ain't exactly the best suited for family friendly films, but you're making a film about a woman who plans to skin dogs for a coat. I think putting the Sex Pistols in a film that's based around London during the punk movement would have been okay for this film. Now don't get me wrong, the soundtrack is not bad. Far from it. I like when they use Whole Lot of Love to build up Cruella's entrance for the big grand reveal. Not Led Zeppelin one, by the way. Even then, the soundtrack's got Deep Purple and Black Sabbath. Both era-appropriate bands, and they're just great sounding. I love Deep Purple and Black Sabbath, but you won't get many punks at the time willing to admit they listen to anything off this soundtrack. Overall, this is a fun popcorn flick, but Cruella lacks this whole build-up or conflict that could have really enhanced this film's story and make it a classic instead of just another live-action Disney film for the pile. The biggest thing this film fails at is Cruella is not cruel. She's impolite, yes, but she's not evil. She kidnaps the Baroness's Dalmatians at one point, presumably the ones that killed her mom as well, and despite the fact that she said that they would make great coats, she doesn't act on it. There's a scene where they say, oh, she made them into coats, but no, that never happened. She even said she couldn't do it. They really tried to make it seem like that she would for a scene, then you realise this person loves dogs. Her closest companion is a childhood dog. I don't believe she would ever skin a dog, and that's why this film fails. Because we didn't get Cruella, we got a more assertive Estella in the end, failing at delivering us this big famous villain, which in my opinion makes this film a failure despite its good qualities. And yeah, I do think it's fun if you just want to go to a family flick and just like, oh, I just want to shut off, have some fun. Yeah, it's a pretty good film. But it could have been great. That's all I'm saying. Right, thanks everyone for watching. Hope to see you again next time. Bye.